Hello,
Hello.
welcome to the Knit Girls. This is, ooh, what is it, 141 episode?
141.
Okay.
Yep.
One of us knows what's going on, and it's not me today.
Only because I did show notes.
So welcome. I'm Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les.
I'm Laura, also known as Lala.
And our headphones are fighting us today a little bit.
We have ornery ears.
Ornery ears. Um, so, works in progress. I'll go ahead and get started because I'm at the end of a row, and I really would prefer to show this at the end of a row.
That's perfect.
So I am knitting the Calligraphy Cardigan. Oh goody, my dog has found me. I'm not letting him in today because I learned my lesson last week.
He loves you so much.
He does, and while everybody thinks it's cute, and it is, it's also difficult to keep him from knocking things over. So, whew. This is what I'm knitting, the Calligraphy Cardigan by Hannah Fettig.
Cute.
And I am knitting it out of Madeline Tosh Pashmina in the worsted. It calls for a DK, but I got gauge in a worsted, which is not unusual. I typically have to go up a needle size anyway and adjust. So, in the Thunderstorm colorway, so I'm alternating schemes because it's always a good idea to do that with hand paints for a garment. If you're doing like a scarf or something, it's probably less important.
You don't want that like big blue side just to be up here, and that's why I have a garment. I'll have to show it next time. My featherweight, I didn't do that, and like it's too. You can definitely see where it switches.
There's a division, and with my look, it would happen right around. I'd have a big
Mine
block.
was like here.
It would be in an unflattering place. So,
yeah.
Even though it's kind of a pain in the butt to alternate, I'm doing that. So I finished. I did not finish the cardigan. That would be nice. I separated for the sleeves.
Huzzah!
So that's the sleeve separation, and I've just finished my first waist decrease.
Rocking on that.
I kind of got to the point where I didn't want to knit on it, but that was because it was 400 stitches across in stockinette.
I understand that.
But then once I divided for the sleeves, that knocked off a lot of stitches, so I'm back down to around 250.
That's good.
So that's where I am, and I tried it on the needles, and it seems to look okay. I need to get some of that try-on tape that.
I have some.
Do you? Well, that's not going to do me any good because you don't live here.
It doesn't.
Nope.
It's tubing. It's tread-on tubing.
There you go.
Like it's actually, you probably could use aquarium tubing if Michael has some spare aquarium tubing.
It's not thin enough. No, his is all a larger gauge. I could just put it on spare yarn and do it, but I'm just lazy. If it fits, it fits. If it doesn't, it'll go to somebody that it does fit. It's the way it works with
tread-on tubing is only like I think $3 for like 2 yards. So it was worth it. I haven't used it yet, but it seems like it would be worth it.
Oh yeah, I would think so. If I happen to see it somewhere, I'll grab some. I just haven't run across it yet.
I think you have to order it online.
Stop enabling me to spend money.
$4. Spend so much more.
So that's it for me for works in progress. I finished something that I'll show y'all. Well, I sort of kind of finished it, and I'll show y'all that later. But you have some works in progress, right?
I do. I just started a new row, so I'm going to back that out. I am working on my Holly and the Ivy socks, and yes, I'm still doing the heel flaps because
weren't you there last week?
Yeah. Well, no, I had just started, so I was down here last week, so there's like an inch there. But it's hard for me to take things on double points when they're like this. It's hard for me to get them in a bag and not have them fall off. So I just decided to leave. It became my stay-at-home project, and when I was at home, I was working on something else this week to try to get it done. I had to bust a move, so not a whole lot of work, but they're still on the needles. They're still gonna get done, hopefully this week. I haven't tried on the first one yet, so this is the second one in the heel flap. And the first one's in this bag. I did weave in the ends on the first one.
Oh, that's good for you, actually.
So, there's the first one.
Because she came to my house this holiday and put on some socks, and she's like, I don't think I wove in the ends of these.
I totally had not.
Well, I think you had, but you hadn't snipped them or something.
I don't, like, if they're toe up, sometimes I forget to weave in the ends on the toes. And by sometimes, I mean all the time. So typically the first time I wear them, I'm like, I'll be scooching around my toes and I'm like, oh, there's ends in there. All right. So there's that. And that's on signature size 1.5. And then I swatched yesterday for a new project. So I'm going to show you all that. I did. It's a huge swatch. So while I was teaching one of my former coworkers how to knit for the first time, I knit on this because this was an easy way to show her different stitches. And actually it is upside down. So I am swatching for the Iced Cardigan by Carol Thaler. It's a free pattern on Knitty, and it calls for 11s. And the 11 gauge is up here. You can see it's a little bit looser. And I've washed this as well. And then I have 10.5s down here. And I'm thinking I got well, before I washed it, I got gauge on the 10.5s, but I haven't measured it since I washed it. But I like the way the 10.5s, the stitch definition, if I pull it a little bit, I like the way that stitch definition is versus the top stitch definition.
Did you already say what yarn it was?
No, I'll show you.
Okay.
I'm getting there. It is American Lamb, which is made in the United States. It's manufactured by Made in America Yarns in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. My sister happens to work there.
I was going to ask if that was...
Yeah, I love their tags though.
From the mill, yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of the Rhinebeck sheep thing that they did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a bulky weight, and this is in light fog, and it's 100% wool, including that. So it's like a bulky single that's wrapped with a smaller cord, and it calls for size 10.5. So that's pretty much on, or 10s. And this is the light fog colorway. So I have like 7 or 8 of these, which is just about right. It's 146 yards a skein. So it's nice and soft and squishy. It's very squishy, like super squishy. So I am super excited about using that. That's what it looks like. So I will have another gray cardigan.
So
Shock.
Why is there a line of holes? Is that just to designate the difference?
So when I switched, I actually started with the 10.5 and worked my way up. And when I switched to the 11, I put 11 holes.
Okay. Have you seen Mel's latest episode from yesterday?
I have not.
Okay, so I got up early before the house was up and moving this morning, so I was able to actually sit and watch. And she does a cute trick for her. Like I do, like you. I make a note in the swatch itself. I usually do purl bumps to say how many, what size needle. But what she does is she, when she swatches the yarn that's on the end, like the cast on leftover,
she ties knots.
Knots, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of that before.
I've never.
Mel from Single Handed Knits.
Yes, Mel, singlehandedknits.com. And I thought that was a clever trick too, because I'd never heard of that, so I might use that at some point too. But
my thing is, I tend to with my swatches, I tend to weave in the ends and then use them as like random. Hey, I spilled something. Let me wipe it up with this, or I need a coaster. Here's the swatch. So the ends tend to get woven in.
But the blanket that's been done and sitting on the back of your sofa for several years does not have the ends woven in.
Not even a little.
Well, there are a little, because you and I have both woven some in.
And I convinced Christy to weave in some at Guild one night. It'll get done eventually. It just sits there. It's an ornamental piece. No one actually uses that blanket, mainly because the ends aren't woven in. But also it's cotton, so.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No. But anyway, that's it for me for works in progress. My socks, and then I am about to start iced tonight, probably.
And I'm wearing my iced.
Yeah.
In Cascade Eco Plus. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so.
That's the big, huge skeins?
Yep, that's Eco Plus.
And it is a little snug on me because I've moved in the past 6 months, and that has caused a lot of stress. And when I'm stressed, I like to eat food. So I have expanded. So this is a little snug on me now. But it's still, you can't tell that from up here because it stops at boob level. So yay, camera angles. But yeah, I like it a lot. It's if I did it again, and I may because it was super fast. This was a super fast knit. This wool is probably not next to skin soft. I probably would do it in a softer wool, but
I knit out of that too.
Oh, the EcoPlus.
Yeah, I have Dahana Fettig. It's something jacket.
Trail jacket
that I knit out of that.
Yeah.
Yep. I like it. It's nice. Like it was even more affordable, but it's still very affordable. It used to be like $15.
Yeah, it used to be like a steal, and now it's more comparable to what it should be.
Yeah.
But I have kind of a finished object. Like I finished the knitting on it, but it hasn't been.
That's what I have too. But
so,
yay!
We need a funny acronym for that, for like finished but not finished. But I finished the color affection. Do what?
Not quite done yet.
Yeah,
You're
there you go.
not a Python fan, but they always say they're not quite dead yet.
Oh, yeah, okay. So I finished the color affection, but I've still got a ton of ends to weave in because I haven't woven in a single end because I bound this off while my son was getting a haircut, and then it got stuffed in a bag and ignored until just now. So the color affection is done.
Yay!
And I think it's going to block out larger than it is now. Garter tends to anyway. And I do like it, but it is very orange. Holy shit, it's orange.
I love it.
I like the finished object, but I don't like the orange. So it's going to go to somebody who does like orange, which is fine. Sometimes I enjoyed knitting this. It really didn't until the very, very end of the stripes, of the 3 color stripes. I wasn't annoyed at all about the amount of garter stitch because it went pretty quick. But these last little bits did not go very quick.
You should have let me have that kit, and then there wouldn't be an issue.
This is true. Hindsight's 20/20, right? But yeah, I like it a lot. I think it turned out really nicely, and I'm gonna block it and give it away to a friend of mine. Good karma.
Fabulous.
You get what you give. So
that is correct.
So what is your not quite done yet project?
I finished the knitting on as of like 10 minutes before we recorded.
Yeah, because I was texting Laura. I was like, "Are you ready yet? Can we go ahead and record?" And she's like, "Dude,
calm down." So ends are not woven in. It hasn't been blocked, and then I'll get done this week. But it's kind of hard to show without, it's kind of curling up. But it's very long.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in love with it. But it's definitely needs a good blocking to stretch out that lace in the bottom edging.
Yeah.
Color.
I really like the colors together. I think they look nice.
And it's nice and long, and once it's blocked, it'll be even more long. And it's got the same basic shape as my Hope, so that'll be fun too.
I'm interested to see how deep it gets once you block it, because that lace is going to grow like crazy.
Yeah, and it's pretty deep right now. Let me actually set it down on my keyboard and hit keys while we're recording.
This can only be good.
Yeah, only be good. Right now, depth-wise, it is right at around 15.5 inches.
How many?
Which is 15.5.
Okay.
So it's curling up a lot because it's stockinette, and even though there's garter on both edges, it wants to curl. And that's the back side. But here's the top, and then there's 3 of the contrast color, and I used almost every single little bit of the yarn. So this is the Seasoning series by the Loopy U. It's dyed by Lorna's Laces exclusively for them. This is the Silver Lining colorway. And there was 535 yards total, 435 of the main color and 100 yards of the contrast. And I could have gone probably another row, but I wanted to leave some extra because people's gauge is different. So that's what I have of the contrast left. And this is what I have of the main.
It's about the same almost.
Yeah, a little bit more. So there's a good bit left over where if people's gauge is a little bit different, it won't totally, or if they knit an extra row by accident,
yeah,
it'll still be okay. But not multiple extra rows, just one or two towards the beginning. So that's that, and I have to write up the pattern. I have a spreadsheet all set up for it for like checkoffs as you knit.
Oh, cool.
And then I have to actually move because I put the pattern on my iPad, like my notes, so I have to actually clean that up and get it ready for testing and do gauge and stuff like that. So that is that. It was knit on size 4s and size 9s. The darker sections are done in the bigger needle size, which kind of gives it a little ruche effect as well.
Yeah.
So that is it for me for kind of finished objects. And that took the majority of my knitting time this week. I knit on that just about 2 hours a night.
You were determined to get that done.
I was very determined to get that done because I want it done because I have other things that I need to design and get through. So, and I want to knit for fun and spin for fun too.
Yeah, I have.
Not that that wasn't fun, but you know, once you get an obligation.
Yeah, definitely. Those tend to come first, and they should.
Yeah, of course.
So I have some spinning. Are you shocked?
No, because I need you spun.
Oh,
but other people might be shocked.
I was gonna say, I guess not everybody gets my texts where I'm like, oh my god, look, I spun. So I started the fiber optic braid in the TheKnitGirlls. My dog is coming down the stairs and throwing himself at the door.
He loves you that much.
Like, he wants in. And the way that the door is, it closes inward, like, so he can't paw it open. Anyway, so this is the Rouge Violet Cerulean colorway by Fiber Optic. This is the TheKnitGirlls Spin Along colorway for January and February. And it's 80% merino, 20% silk. She also did dye some merino tencel for people who didn't want to deal with the silk. So, and this is the way that I spun it. I started with the red, or the rouge, and then worked my way into the violet. And I'm between the violet and the cerulean now on my bobbin.
Wow.
So
I
have struggled because I'm spinning this on my matchless, and it's been so long since I've spun a really thin yarn on my matchless that my tension was just crazy. So I spent the first quarter of this bobbin just trying to figure out what I was doing. It was pulling too much, it was curling, and I can just feel Jessica going, yes, somebody else is having trouble. But I think I've finally gotten into the right groove. So I left my end fuzzy, and I always do that so that I don't lose it. But I do have some curly spots, like here, where it curled on itself. But I'll even that out in applying. I'm not worried about it. It's not all of it. It's just a couple of little spots. And I am happy with it right now. I brought out my tool that I got from VIPfibers.com, and this is for spinners. And so when you're spinning your single, you can measure it and get an idea of what it'll be when it's plied. So I was able to, gotta unwind this just a little bit. I was able to measure this, and it ended up being about between 28 and 24 as a single. And I've only got two hands. I don't know that I can hold my hand against the back of this to show you guys. But
that looks good.
So you cut that in half because you're going to apply it together with another of the same, ideally, of the same thickness. So 24 and a half is 12, which should give me about a sport weight plied. Because I'm doing it, I split it down the middle, and I'm doing the two plies together.
Yeah.
And normally this has a little clip, and it clips onto the tensioning rod on my wheel, and so it's always there. but I took it off to show you guys because that was a new tool I had just discovered last year, and it's been useful to me. It's useful to help to check yourself when you're trying to spin for a certain weight. It's nice to be able to check it against that every now and then. So this is what I've gotten so far, and this was spun last night and this morning, little bits here and there.
Wow.
So
You're doing pretty awesome on that.
I'm happy. It's easy to spin once you figure your tension out. For me, that was my problem.
And we're going to do a drawing next week in the Knit Girls group for fiber optic for prizes. So we'll have a separate thread, and you're just going to put an in progress picture of what you've accomplished on your fiber optic braid so far. And we'll have a drawing for what, a $25 gift certificate?
Well, it's $29. It's enough for a braid and shipping.
Okay. So pretty cool.
Yes.
I need to get on that, but I have other pretties that I need to spin. Did you finish your set down baby doll, or are you still working on that?
I haven't touched it since I showed you last week. Do you, for the fiber optic thing, do you want me to go through and get a count real quick of that stuff? Okay.
And we're just going to draw for this week's prize. We're just going to draw randomly from that thread. So if you posted it all at that thread,
you're eligible.
You're eligible.
And I'm just going to get counts real quick while Laura, and we forgot to even put it on our show notes. So while Laura's telling you about her spinning, I'm just going to get the numbers of how many people posted.
Sure. So I'm still spinning on the Lendrum upstairs, the gorgeous bat from Dripping Fiber Studio. I just got something in it. Okay. So it looks like that gorgeous pink on that side, and then when I flip it, it's got the brown, and it's just really, really pretty. And I've just been tearing off strips and spinning that. And I was gonna bring in the bobbin, but last week when I took my bobbin off my Lendrum, I'm not smart enough to bring in the whole flyer like Leslie does, and I put it back on backwards. And I had like a couple seconds where I was like, this isn't going, and then I just flipped it around. Because the Lendrum bobbins are the same on both ways. Like, they're the same on both sides. There's no way of telling any difference. So, nah. But, so I didn't take it off this time. But y'all saw it last week, and it has this gorgeous bit of fluff on it. And this is what's left of the first half of it. And then I'll have the second half to spin. And hopefully I'll get to that this week. And then yesterday, I was watching the Ravens-Broncos game, and I was like, I'm just going to spin for an hour, and then I'm going to finish up working on the shawl. Like, I'm going to work on the shawl all night long. Yeah. Well, I spun for the entire game.
It was a very tense game, apparently.
It was a very tense game. And actually, I knit on the shawl for the second game, the Green Bay game, and then the game this morning, the Atlanta Falcons game. So I feel like I got a good bit done on that, and I did because I finished it. But anyway, so I started spinning. I told you all this last week. Some Falkland Alpaca blend from Southern Cross Fibers, and these are the first two colors. It is a small accent pack. It was number 11 from Southern Cross Fiber, and basically what he did was it was something like 5.8 ounces, and there's around 4 ounces of the main color, which is a rhubarb, which is actually kind of very similar to this pink, and then these two accent colors. So you can kind of see what it would be like. So I haven't started the larger, the rhubarb, but this is the, what's the name of this color? It is Desert Sun, and I got 88 yards of a 2-ply. And then this is Warm Sand, and I got 85 yards of a 2-ply. So I'm pretty much right on, and I'm thinking these are right around an ounce each. And then 4 ounces of that rhubarb main color.
They look very well balanced.
Thank you. They are going to be, they're doing a spin along, knit along, crochet along, whatever along, besides spinning, like
craft along.
Yeah. Knit it and then craft, or spin it then craft with it in that group. And I think it ends February, so I want to at least get the spinning in. I'd love to do some colorwork mittens with the rhubarb and then these two colors, but I have been looking for sport weight 3-color mittens, and I can't find any that I really like. So, that work with these colors. Like, there's some cute mushroom ones and stuff, not really these colors. So, I might end up doing a hat instead. I haven't done the advanced pattern search on that yet, but we'll see. But I really like them. And I have 88 yards of each, so it's not like a huge amount, but it should be enough to do.
It's cool that you got the same yardage.
Well, it's 88, 85. It's pretty close,
Still,
though.
yeah, 3 yards difference.
3 yards. That's not too bad. So I'm pretty consistent with that. So that's everything that I've spun. Not a whole lot this week. Basically 2 ounces, but a little bit.
Yeah.
That is it. So were you gonna do the drawing for fiber optic?
Yeah, we can go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Now, I will say this might be kind of awkward just because Laura and I have both posted in that group, and if we land on ourselves, we're not picking ourselves. Somebody else is going to win. So, right now there are 117 comments in the thread, so between numbers 2 and 117.
And Kimber's posted too, and she's not eligible.
Yeah. I doubt Kimber would value a gift certificate to her own shop, so... the number it gave me is 105. Let's see if that person... Oh, good. It's not us. All right.
Oh,
it's
good.
Lace Freak, who was able to spin... Oh, I think she was the one who had that crazy spindle. Let me look and see. Oh,
She's
no.
got that gorgeous
Holy
Turkish
crap.
spindle.
She's already done. Wow. Well, she deserves it.
Yay.
She spun 2 braids.
Oh, wow.
And plied them. Holy crap. Look at that.
That's awesome. Oh, wow. How pretty.
So, congratulations, dude. You're getting another you're getting a gift certificate to
Fiber optic.
Yeah, to get another.
Fun.
So just PM either myself or Kimber. Actually, just PM me and I'll get it to Kimber so that she can get you your gift certificate code. And way to go, you're spinning rocks. I wonder if she said how many yards she got. Not yet. That is amazing.
I totally forgot something else too. So we have another prize to give away and I totally forgot about it.
Oh.
Anyway, we'll do it later.
Okay.
When it's prize time and not whatever Laura wants prize time.
That's all the time.
Seriously. So, book review. We have a really interesting book that I picked up at a yarn shop in New Jersey. I can't remember the name of the shop. It's right near where my cousins live.
Yarn bearers, wool bearers.
Yes, wool bearers. And the book is Westknits Book 4, Made for Movement, and it's got a really funny book trailer that Stephen West did, and I'm going to link that in the show notes as well.
Okay.
It retails for $22 for the print copy, and then it comes with a code on the back that gives you digital copies as well.
So I just want to say before we get into this book review, Stephen West's mind is a little bit crazy but brilliant at the same time. And regardless of whether or not you like his patterns, I would still love to be like in the Stephen West headquarters right for the pep talk right before they go out for a photo shoot. I would love to be involved in that and just see what happens because he and his models always look like they're having a good time.
And they're part of his fun club,
Yeah.
which is so awesome.
They look. I would love to be part of that pep talk and just be a fly on the wall. So that said, there's like 10 or 12 patterns. How many are there?
There are 10 patterns in here.
Okay.
And I really, really like the first one, which is the Barndom. And that is this. Very cool shawl. It can be done out of 2 or 3 colors. And my friend Mel actually sent me a skein of skein yarn. It's this. That's Mel from the Single Handed Knits podcast. And it's gorgeous. It is the velvet colorway. And so I went to my stash and I pulled out this, which is also skein, and I might do this shawl out of those 2 colors. Like, I think that'd be super fun.
Yeah.
So that's gonna kind of get paired together in my head. But I really, really liked it, and it calls for, if you do 2 colors, around 437 yards, and actually it uses top drawer socks of each color. And then if you do 3 colors, it's 220 of each. So very, very neat.
So the
and
first...
this is close up of the texture.
Oh yeah, I like that. The first one that really caught my eye was bolting, which is the shawl itself looks like it wouldn't be incredibly complicated, but I just see this is an example of how you can tell that they're having a good time. But the
Like
shawl is so substantial that it seems like it would be a good fit for some of our some of the bigger knitters who feel like shawlettes are just like kerchiefs on them and they don't you know they don't feel substantial enough. I really think this would be a great choice for those people because it's beautiful and it looks really substantial. So that was one of the, and it uses 1,000 yards of worsted weight. So
very cool.
I like that.
I like that a lot, and I think it'd be like a fun, cozy wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
I also really like the Diamondback mitts. Which look like those.
Yeah, they reference that first shawl. They look similar in design.
Uh-huh. And there's another. And those use, I believe, Madtosh DK. Yep. In 2 different colors. He used oxblood and antique lace, or toast and antique lace. Just 80 yards of one color, 40 yards of another. So if you have some DK scraps sitting around, 40 yards is like nothing.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, an 80 of another is not bad at either. So you could totally work that out. So I think that's very, very cool.
I like this Ithaca shawl. It is a very kind of artsy, contemporary almost, but it's garter stitched with shaping, but he shows you how to add the little shells or coins or little adornments, which I thought was really clever.
Yeah, and it uses a non-standard fiber. It uses like hemp or something like that.
Linen. It uses linen.
Okay. A lace weight linen, so
yes.
very, very cool.
But I like that one a lot. I like he thinks outside the box. I don't even think he knows where the box is.
I like the how it's very beachy. I can see that definitely as a summer, definitely like an SSK shawl.
Yeah.
Very cool. On the opposite end of the spectrum, I really like Mud Milk, and he uses hand spun for part of it, which is very cool. Not a fit. I think it'd be very neat in 2 colors, maybe.
Yeah.
Like do that band in the white too.
Mm-hmm.
But just like little scraps of bulky hand spun that's left over from projects. I think that would be very cool because it only uses 20 yards, 50 yards, and 65 yards. So Stephen West might be my scrap busting solution for a while.
I think this one is interesting. I don't know that I would knit it just because I don't quite have the confidence that Mr. West has, but I think it's cool. And it's the shrowl, so it's like a mix up between a shawl and a cowl. So he shows it being worn as a cowl, and then you can see all the different ways that you can wear it. You can split it in half and wear it as a shawl or a shrug. I guess that's the SH is a shrug, not a shawl. It's cute. I like the idea of it. I don't know that I would knit it, but more power to him.
And then I really like the hats.
The string band, yes. I loved that.
See, I like this one. But go with your string band thing.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. The
Vertitwist.
Vertitwist. I think it's super cool because it kind of works in those little ear flaps. And it has a pom-pom. So I have to send it to someone else to use the pom-pom. But it uses DK weight, just one skein, 170 yards. Very, very cute. Very contemporary. I like it lots. And then you want to talk about the string band?
I don't know why, but I love this freaking hat. So it looks like it's, and I haven't read through the pattern enough to say for sure, it looks like it's knit flat in garter, and then there are some, ooh, I closed it. I was trying to cover up the important bits. But it looks like it can be worn a lot of different ways. So it's got that like I-cord string that with a drawstring portion, I'm guessing to make it into look like a cowl, but then it can also be worn.
It can be worn 2 ways, I think. Yeah.
It's a hat.
Very
so
cool.
He is super duper cute, and like I said, I don't even think he knows where the box is, but he keeps coming up with new ideas, so I dig him.
And the digital copy of the book, which is Made for Movement, it's Stephen Westknits' fourth book, is only $20. So when you think of it that way, you're getting patterns for $2, basically a pattern. And I think there's enough in here definitely to make it worth it. And if you're more of a print book person, you can get the print book and get a code for free digital as well.
I really appreciate that when designers and publishers do that. I feel like at this point it's getting to the point where I feel like you should. I feel like you should include the ability for a digital download.
If you can, I think that's very, very cool.
Yeah.
I know that some people are still worried about copyright violations and stuff like that, but I think it's very, very neat to have it on my iPad, and I can take it with me, and it makes it easy for me, especially if I'm on the road.
I'm more likely to use it, therefore talk about it, therefore give it exposure if I have digital access to it.
That's very true.
So, anyhow.
All right, so for Deep Stash Dive December, we have 2 additional prizes, and I want to draw for that. And basically what they are is More Yarn gave 2 gift certificates to her shop, which is moreyarn.com.
Cool.
And they're for $25 each. So we're going to go back to that thread, and we're just going to draw for them real fast, and I'm just going to send her, you need to send me your email addresses, and I will pass them along to her. So it goes from 3 to 581. And the first winner is 443, which is, what page would that be on even? I'm so bad at guessing page
22.
number. It's 18. So you were off too.
No. I was in the 540s, I guess.
You were more on top of it than I was. So 443 is Simon Maloney. And that's a cute little like ornament that she knit that looks like a sock. So she's gonna be, it's a mini sock ornament. There we go. So she's gonna be one of our winners. Yay! Yay! Simona Maloney. There we go. I can read. Just send me your email address and I'll pass it on to moreyarn.com. And then the other person is going to be number 90, which would be on page 4, correct?
4, yes.
Right? 4?
4.
Let me go up.
Laura's a very aggressive clicker. Click, click.
I am. What number did I even say? Let me go back
90.
to 90. I have it all pulled up on my computer. This computer gets mad if I'm not aggressive with it. It does. 90 is Couture.
Oh,
Yay!
cool. Yay.
She's her avatar, too.
Yeah.
So it's this cute little deep stash snowflake that she crocheted, it looks like. So yay.
Awesome.
To Couture, send me an email, and I will pass your email address on to moreyarn.com, and I really appreciate her giving that opportunity to people who participated in Deep Stash Dive.
That's very
So
cool.
just when you thought it was over, it comes back.
That is going to be the episode title, just when you thought it was over. Done.
We have 2 new threads on the TheKnitGirlls board, which are I think we're both super excited about.
Absolutely. So you want to pick one to talk about, and I'll pick the other one.
Well, okay. I'll talk about the one that I started. How about that?
Okay.
So, I started a thread. It is called, I can't even remember I'm Knitteristing. And basically, it's just for a place for you to put things that you find as you stumble across your internet searches that you think are interesting. One of the guys, is that David? What is
Brian David?
Yeah, put this really cool video about a woman who knits sweaters. Brian David 918. I've posted some stuff. Rose posted some stuff. It's just a cool place to put interesting little things or things that you find that are helpful. And there's been some other people who posted in there as well, so thank you for doing that. But it's just a little place to put...
imagine it as like a cork board at your local community center.
Yeah, to put different things. But we're not using it for ads or for self-promotion.
For vendors or anything like that.
Yeah, we still want you to put those in the Pimp Yourself thread.
Right, and we love having indies in our group, and we love you pimping yourself, because when I have extra money in my Etsy fund or whatever, that's the first place I go, is in our Pimp Yourself thread, and I'm like, who can I support this week, or who can I, whatever. So I haunt that thread a lot. So keep putting your stuff in there. That's where we want all the vendor stuff. It's easy to keep it in one place.
Or if you find something like a coupon code or something else, that would be the perfect place to put that.
And so the other thread that we started is called With a Little Help from My Friends. And even though I started the group, it's really kind of Laura's brainchild. But basically what it is Laura and I are lucky in that we have a group of very close friends, and so whenever we have an idea or we're stumbling over something and we just need some help, we're able to reach out to those people and get feedback, positive, negative, whatever. And so that's what we want this thread to be, and it can be about any kind of fiber related conundrum or quandary that you have. So basically what we want this thread to do is just serve as a way to get advice or feedback. So I posted an example as the second post in that thread, and it's basically I have this beautiful Numma Numma yarn, which is a silk blend, and it's so pretty that it's one of those I'm saving it. And I have enough crap. I don't need to save anything. So I posted pictures of that and listed my size and kind of what I'm looking for. And so I got a bunch of great ideas for feedback and added some stuff to my queue because people thought, oh, it might look good in this, or with your
they
shape.
give you a bunch of pattern choices.
And then we've had some people who, we had one person who wanted, who just gotten a drop spindle and was about to start spindling and wanted some tips on what to do. So we had people who were posting links and videos to that person. So basically it's just, it's like a group of, your girlfriends or guy friends or whatever who are there to give you feedback. So we hope that you guys will use that as a, because we are community driven. We are not, we would be nowhere without the community that we have. And we want to try to give back to you guys as much as you give to us. So. Yep.
And we enjoy going on the Ravelry board and interacting with people. And we read everything, whether or not we respond or not.
Yeah.
Leslie and I both spend a lot of time reading everything.
And in the beginning, when we started, I responded to every single comment on the blog. And either Laura or I responded to everything in the forums. And we can't anymore.
We have jobs.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to find a way to make this my job, but it hasn't happened yet. So even if we don't comment, we are reading it, and we do appreciate it so much. And you can always PM us if you ever have anything that you feel like you want to say.
And Leslie will get back to you in 3 to 6 months.
I really struggle to keep up with my PMs. Laura is much better about it. Because
if
Laura
I get over 10, I freak out.
Yeah.
I have to get it back down.
Yeah, and that I don't have that problem because I work in an industry where I at any point in time I have over 1,000 emails, so it doesn't bother me like it bothers Laura. But if you email PM me and you don't get an answer, just PM Laura.
So now 3,000 PMs. I like that. That's fun.
Now, did you join a new club this week?
I did, but it's only one shipment, in my defense.
Okay.
So, I'm having such a ball spinning this that Dripping Fiber opened her club for the month of February, and I snapped on it. Like, I got there 15 minutes late, and I was, like, freaking out because I was cleaning. Friday night, I ripped out 2 sweaters, y'all, and a shawl that had been, like, the Colonnade shawl that I had done out of worsted doubled that I have had on the needles since the week that pattern was released on Knitty, so who knows how long that's been. I ripped that out and I rescanned the yarn, and then I had a sweater that I started back when I lived in North Carolina, and I ripped that out, and then another sweater that I had started probably 7 or 8 years ago. It was right after that yarn shop closed.
Oh.
So I took my salary in yarn.
Yeah.
So, and obviously it wouldn't fit. Like, looking at it, I knew it wouldn't fit. So I finally ripped that out and rescanned all that yarn. and I was cleaning, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna be late, and I was 15 minutes late, and I was freaking out, but there were still some spots open, and she's doing a Beatles themed, so I got Paul and John.
Oh, I was gonna say like Beatles like the band or Beatles like the bug.
No, like the band, and then she also had like Ringo and George, or you could get one of each, but I just decided to go with John and Paul because they're my favorites. Mama Linneman had all the Beatles albums on records growing up, and that was what we danced to all the time.
Oh, that's so sweet.
In fact, for Christmas, they made like Beatles Lego figurines. They're not the official Lego. They're like the other brand that starts with a K. But I bought those for her for Christmas.
Aww.
So it's like the timing in the club, and I had money in my PayPal account, and the theme just spoke to me, and her stuff is so nice to spin. It's dripping fiber studio.
Oh yeah, her prep is awesome.
Totally getting. So in February I'll have that shipment coming, so I'll show you all that when it comes. So that was my big expenditure of the week.
We also are working on SSK stuff still. I mean, that's or even when we don't talk about it, we're working on it. But we are kind of fine-tuning plans for this awesome sort of mini event in the event on Friday night. Last time Friday night we had a movie. We watched Labyrinth. This time we're not doing the movie. We're doing something a lot more interactive. And we're pretty sure it's going to be a huge hit. I'm excited about it, and
I'm super excited.
We will have more details on that soon. We don't like to talk about things until we've got them like nailed down. So we're super.
I hear him crying.
Yeah, he really wants in this room. But if I let him in this room, you're not going to see me. You'll see his chest for the rest of the show. So.
He'll be fine.
Poor Neelix. He's only got 2 other people in this house who can give him attention and love, but it is not those people that he wants. So, I think that's all for me. I'm trying to think if I have anything else, but I don't believe that I do, which is awesome. This feels like a short episode. So yes.
It probably isn't, but it feels like it.
It feels like it. I guess because we got started earlier than we have lately. But yeah, that's it for me. Do you have anything? You look really nice in your cardigan today, by the way. It's very flattering on you. I like the lines of it quite a lot. I know that it caused you some stress size-wise, but...
I ripped out the whole thing and reknit it. Can't believe it. This is my Monday morning cardigan by Laura Chow, I think?
Chow, yeah.
Yeah. Out of Cascade 220. And I don't wear it enough.
I like it on you a lot.
And the weather in Mississippi dropped from, it was like 75 degrees yesterday and sunny. Like I had a hoodie on and was dying of heat and had to take it off, and had tennis shoes on with like cotton socks. And then today it's 39 degrees. 39, which is awesome because I get to wear hand knit.
Yes.
And that doesn't happen enough in Mississippi.
Yeah.
So I'm going to spend the rest of my evening watching, well, football should be over by this point, but maybe watching Elementary and spinning. Wheezy discovered Downton Abbey this week.
Oh.
And Netflix. He has never experienced the joy that is Netflix.
Oh my gosh, where has he been?
Well, when he had his surgery last year, I bought him a subscription for like 5 months and he never used it.
Yeah.
But now he's discovered my subscription and he is super happy to help utilize that.
You know, the only bad part about that is like, so I've had a Netflix subscription for, I don't know, a long time. Like, I don't even think my son was born when I joined. It was very early in its infancy that I joined. But you know how it does recommendations based on stuff you've watched?
Yeah.
Like, that's great when it's just you watching it. But when your 9-year-old and your 30-something-year-old significant other watches it and you get these things and you're like, what? What the hell is this?
Hawaii Five-0 and Rockford Files?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like racy stuff, but it's just random. Like, why would I care? But, you know, so yeah.
And when I babysat for you over the summer, I watched, like, My Little Pony with like 17 episodes in a row.
So that's the dangers of sharing a Netflix account. But,
There you go.
Yeah. So I think that's all that I've looked around a dozen times. That's all I've got. Do you have anything else?
That's all I have.
Okay.
Nope. And we'll see y'all next week.
We'll see you guys next week.
Oh, next week. The following week I'm at Oxford, So if you're going to be at Oxford, let me know. I know Memphis Holly is.
Oh, okay. You'll have to tell us more about that next week.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.